everyone. I'm Cindy.
And I'm Shell, and we do videos about our boating life. And in this episode, we're going to talk money. Namely, how much it costs to cruise and live aboard. We're going to compare 2 years worth of numbers. Stay tuned.
Okay guys, so we are in Toronto, Canada.
You can't tell by that tower way back there. We are here for the height of hurricane season. The boat is in Florida on the hard. We're going to get some work done.
Bottom
paint, things like that.
Yeah.
But right now, while we're waiting, we're going to give you a little rundown. Maybe not a little rundown, large rundown.
Yeah, large rundown.
Of all of our finances for the past 2 years.
Okay.
What it costs to cruise and what it costs to live aboard. It's going to include everything from maintenance, utilities.
Maintenance is something. Marina stays, laundry, water, just everything.
So, but to do this, we're going to take you for a tour through Toronto.
Yeah.
And head down towards the waterfront. We are in a rental apartment up by Dundas Square, by the Eden Center. And we're going to take you down to the waterfront. But come along with us and we'll show you around and tell you about our financial woes.
That is what you need to own.
To rob.
To rob.
All right, so let's talk budgets for a minute. We don't do those.
Well, we've tried to write it out, but as soon as it's written out,
We blow it.
it's gone. Yeah, like
So this is not about how to budget and spend as little as you possibly can. This is about what we spend when we don't budget, and we just there are times, yes, we do hold our expenses down.
we try. It's just that I don't know what it is
See?
with us in life.
So just compare it to yourselves and your lifestyle.
Yes.
Everybody is going to be totally different, and like I said, this is not a budget video.
This is just
Our expenses.
Yeah, I just calculated our expenses for the 2 years, just to see how it would vary, and it varies
Quite a bit.
quite a bit. Yeah,
Especially in the maintenance area.
yeah. For
which
us.
We'll get to.
Okay, so when I did do those 2 years of expenses, keep in mind, year 1, we left Canada, came down through the US, went to the Bahamas, and went back to Florida. Year 2, we left Florida,
Did the
went
Bahamas.
to the Bahamas,
and came back.
and back to Florida. And we stayed in the Bahamas in year 1 for 6 months, and year 2 for 8 months. So we're 2 months more in the Bahamas in the year 2 numbers. And when we say year 1 and 2, it doesn't mean our first year at it. It just means
This is the year we started
1
tracking
year.
the expenses. The very
Right.
first year we went with Deanne and Barry
Yeah.
on Living on the Edge, we didn't track any expenses there. So this is the year after that, and the year now that we actually have video for that is not released yet.
Yes.
So-
Stay tuned for that one. Medical insurance. We are currently under our Canadian provincial
Healthcare.
healthcare. And so then we need to add onto that travel insurance, emergency,
When we're away.
when we're away.
And they want you to have your provincial insurance, and then your rate is not so high when when you're away, right?
Yeah.
If we didn't have our provincial and we
We'd have-
wanted travel insurance, it would be a lot higher than what we're going to tell you.
Yeah, you'd have to get expat insurance if you're not under race cars. Okay, so the cost for us per day for the two of us was $6.25 a day.
So a couple cheap cups of coffee or one expensive?
$3 is expensive for coffee, isn't it?
Well, depends on where you go.
Here, it's $3.
So is there any way we could have saved on this?
No, I don't think so. I think that is, I called around. I did call around to a few, and the cooperators were the best choice for us at our age and what we were doing.
Right. So there's really no way we could have cut it down. If anything, it's probably going to get more expensive in the future.
Yeah, we're going to get older, but hopefully not sicker.
Right.
We're going to get more healthy.
Right. I don't know what that sound is. Sounds like crickets. All right, on the next one.
So let's talk water. For year one, we spent $250 in water. Year two, we spent $435 in water. The difference, we were there 2 months longer in the Bahamas in year two, and it still seems a little bit high for the 2 extra months, but I don't know. Maybe we bought expensive water.
No, I think I know what it was. I think it was. I just before we went down the second year, I installed an outdoor shower. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we bought scuba gear. So, and now every time we come aboard, we rinse off there on the aft deck and rinse off our gear. That might account for a little bit more water. I don't know if it's $200 more water.
Yeah. Don't know. Either way.
Do you think we could have saved anything more?
I don't know if a water maker would save us anything.
I
don't
don't
know.
think so. Actually, a water maker, which we plan on getting, is probably more expensive, simply because they are expensive to install,
Yeah.
and then they're fairly expensive to maintain. So if you're using water a lot, you got filters and stuff to replace. When you leave it and put it on storage for a little while, there's maintenance you have to do there. So there's a little bit of maintenance there. I'm sure it would be years before you would get the average cost of making water down to $300 or $400, which is what we spend when we fill up in the Bahamas. But that doesn't say we're not going to spend it, because for the convenience of it, we think it's probably a worthwhile investment at this point.
Well, and like laundry. Laundry's an expense in the Bahamas. So laundry is for both years. We've spent about $300 a year for me doing laundry.
We don't have a washer dryer or
No.
washer dryer single unit, combo unit. So we go to laundromats, and that's
Yeah.
what we spend,
And the most expensive, I guess, you're going to find is in the Bahamas. We were there year two. We were there 2 months more, but we had stayed in a marina who offered free laundry. So maybe that's where it stayed the same,
Yeah,
kind
maybe.
of over the 2 years.
Maybe.
And then I don't know. It goes back to water maker. There would be no laundry costs if we had a water maker, because
Well, we have to run the generator more.
no, I would just do laundry when the Jenny's on. We run the generator once a day. I think it would be,
That's when you do your laundry.
yeah,
And if we don't run the generator long enough, you just do a wash and hang it out to dry.
that's right. Yeah.
So we probably save on that if we had a water maker. Still, the cost of water maker will be a few years before it averaged out.
But there's no washer dryer going in the C-Shell anyways, because it's too much
Well, you never know.
fuss. Nah.
You never know.
money.
So we just ate out. What is the place called?
We went to the Against the Grain.
It's too loud, so we couldn't do any good commentary there.
No, not about.
So we're sitting at Sugar Beach, which is just a little ways from that. So since we ate, we figured we'd talk about food.
Food. Yes, the cost of food for us in those 2 years that we calculated. So first we'll break it up. We'll do groceries and eating out. So for groceries in year 1 for us and year 2 averaged about the same at about $7,100 in groceries.
Yeah, that's not eating out. So eating out is year 1 was 4,800.
Yes.
Year 2 was 6,400.
Year 2?
We don't know what
I
went
don't
wrong
know.
with year 2. We just ate out more, I guess.
I guess so.
Put together, that's about $1,000 per month for food,
Yes.
eating out and groceries combined. You know, I that's pretty good for us, I think.
Yeah.
You know, if we wanted to budget and you know, bring things down a lot more, I'm sure we could very easily. Not eating out. Eating out is expensive, obviously.
Yeah.
We could not eat out at all. We could provision more, bring more with us.
Yeah, I do provision well, but I think eating out for us too, it's a social. We love to support the locals. You get to sit down, you get to know
Meet people.
meet people, and it's just
It's cultural. You know?
it is,
You get
yeah,
to-
and that's what food is. And we do enjoy food, probably too much.
maybe.
I don't know.
But anyway, that's something that
We could
we
probably
could cut back on if we wanted to. But
Yeah.
at this point, we don't want to.
Yeah, well, we only try to eat out like once, twice a week. Like it's not.
Oh,
you
it's not
know, We're
it's
not
not a big
eating out
part of.
all the time.
Yeah.
So that's the cost of food. Okay, so fuel for the Tolly Craft. Year 1 was $5,300. Year 2, $2,600. And the difference between those years was that we did not go back to Canada
For 1 year.
on year 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So the year 2 is just cruising the Bahamas, crossing the Gulf Stream and cruising the Bahamas.
Yeah, coming back, and
So it's not bad. Even though fuel was probably a little more expensive than the first year we went down,
yes,
it's still fuel is still not a huge expense.
yeah. And if you did watch our fuel video from years ago, yeah, fuel is more expensive now, so it's not going to be the same cost.
So it's clouding over, right?
Yes.
So I think we'll do a part 2. Think we'll do a part 2?
Well, the main expenses would be we haven't even discussed anything yet.
I know. So maybe we'll do part 2 with the maintenance, which is the biggest stuff. We don't know what exactly will be in part 1, but we know we haven't done the maintenance stuff. So we'll wait to do the maintenance stuff in part 2.
Yeah.
All right. If you like this video, give it a like. If you're new here, subscribe. Share it around to your friends. That kind of thing. We'll see you in the next episode. And long may your big jib drop.